actually had 69 Power Five teams last year. They actually had the 69th toughest strength of schedule of any team in Power Five. So the run defense was abysmal. Bottom quarter, their pass defense was also not great. Actually, I guess the metrics, I don't know. On a per game basis, they didn't let up that many passing yards, but that doesn't tell the full story. So we have to go back and check the film to see actually what went wrong there. But I can their offense show even further improvement in the spring?
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Moving on, we have Virginia, right? Their over-win total is also at 4.5, right? Tony Elliott, hot seat season. This is make or break for him. Not necessarily make or break, but I would love to see some improvement in year three. Obviously, that's had a lot to deal with, in rebuilding their roster. But to me, I'm looking for an offensive playmaker to emerge outside of Calandria, obviously, who's awesome. But someone trying to replace Malik Washington. And obviously, you're not going to have the same production of Malik Washington, but you someone's got to fill that void and get all those catches and yards and touchdowns that Washington did. And it could be a collection of guys, right? You got Malachi Fields is still there. Chris Tyree comes in from Notre Dame. Terrell Harris from Kent State. Andre Green from North Carolina. Right, even the tight end, right? Tyler Neville, who is a playmaker that Calandria and Toniel can rely on for Virginia.
Yeah, who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? That is a huge question. Like you talked about that, I think that answer is more likely to be answered in the spring than the question of like can kind of similar to what we talked about with um Virginia Tech. Sorry, jeez, or sorry, Georgia Tech. Their run defense has been pretty abysmal. Their front seven has not been very effective at all in the last couple seasons. Can you see some improvements there at all? Uh, yeah, offensively, does Calandria get the start? Does he get the nod? Gosh, I would love to see him get the nod. That dude is frisky as heck. So, any other questions that you have for Virginia heading into spring ball?
Not really, but I mean, I guess looking forward to their season. Like you have a tough schedule, right? You open with Richmond, okay, got to be a win. But every game after that, to me, I do not feel is any surefire wins. Hence the reason why your line is at 4.5, which might even be higher. I think this team might be a little bit better than in previous years, but their schedule is brutal, right? Out of conference, you have Maryland at home as well as at Coastal Carolina, right? That's a great G5 program to play on the road, right? That's brutal for Virginia. And obviously in conference, right? The only good home game you get is Boston College and SMU, right? Everyone else is either significantly more talented than you are or you're on the road, right? And that's never a good recipe for, reaching a bowl game in with a team that's, on the bottom half of talent in the ACC. And that's the reality of it right now. So we'll see. I do think the team might be better next year in terms of just pure talent and execution, but their schedule does not do them any favors.
Yeah, they could win less games than they did last year and be a better football team for sure.
And that's not a good recipe for Tony Elliott, trying to get an
That's
extension.
yeah. Is he on the hot seat?
It's so hard to say at Virginia. You knew it was going to
I
take a
know.
couple of years. Do I think he has it going in the right direction? Like, am I surefire he's the guy at Virginia? No. In fact, I lean towards no, he's probably getting fired in the next 2 years. But a lot can change. We saw Neil Brown, change in West Virginia. We've seen it happen before. Like we said, they're getting better, so it's got to be doing something right. So we'll see. We'll see.